Hi children, this is me, Vishnuram, with the textbook Flamingo, and today we are going to discuss about the last poem in the textbook Flamingo on Jennifer's Tigers, written by Adrienne Rich. About Adrienne Rich, she was an American poet. Apart from poet, she was an essayist and a famous feminist. She was one of the most read poets in the second half of 20th century. Let's get into the chapter. Let's get into the poem on Jennifer's Tiger, which deals with the problems of married women, the constraints women feels after their married life. Let's see. The poem on Jennifer's Tigers addresses the constraints of married life of a woman, or a woman, what she experiences, the constraint, what all constraints she experiences, how she feels, how she responds to the constraints in her married life. Let me read the first stanza. On Jennifer's Tigers prance across the screen, bright toppers, denizens of the world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. In these lines, in the first stanza, Adrienne Rich talks about a lady whom she calls Aunt Jennifer. It can be her aunt, or it can be anyone around the world who is married. Aunt Jennifer, she is doing an embroidery work on a piece of cloth. She is making tigers with thread and needle on a piece of cloth. The idea is, she is making tigers where tigers are fearless creatures, very much brave, courageous creatures, fearless creatures. Exactly contrasting Aunt Jennifer. She is afraid. She is tired. The tigers are described as bright as topaz stones. But that brightness is not there in Aunt Jennifer's life. She's having a lot of constraints, burdens. She's affected with the burden of marriage. She's afraid of maybe relatives, maybe her husband, maybe the married life. The elegant tigers, they move with strong feet and in a great pace over the cloth, which is having a background of dense forest, where they actually live, where these fearless tigers actually live. But think about Aunt Jennifer. She is living in her husband's house, where she is detached from her home, just like the dense forest a fearless tiger have. She doesn't have it. That made her really not fearless. She is feared. She is afraid. Let me read the second stanza. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. In this stanza, Aunt Jennifer is described as she feels it difficult to pull up the ivory needle. She feels it very hard to pull that needle. This is a simple thing, right? Why she need to be to feel hard to pull that needle? Because she is being controlled. She is being controlled by the constraints of marriage. She says that her hands, she feels it heavy. The heaviness of the wedding band. The engagement ring. The ring in her finger is that much heavy. Literally, of course, the ring is not that much heavy, but the ring is heavy, the marriage ring is heavy Because the responsibilities, the constraints of marriage, that actually makes that particular ring that much heavy. She couldn't, she is that much stressed with the burdens, the burden of marriage. That's why she couldn't continue her hobby. She is afraid because she is tired because of the marriage and marriage experience she got through the wedding, her married life. That's why her fingers are fluttering, shivering with fear. And now I'm going to read the last and final stanza. When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. In the third and final stanza, Adrienne Rich, the poet, says, even if Aunt Jennifer is dead, the constraints, the ordeals, the bad experiences, the unpleasant experiences she had in her married life will rest with her in her finger as a ring. Even that time, the tigers she made on a piece of cloth will be prancing, fearless, in an elegant way on the cloth. The poet, Adrienne Rich. Already I told you, she was a spokesperson for feminism. She wrote this particular poem to bring out the bad experiences experienced by the married women in 20th century when she was a poet. Maybe it's her own Aunt Jennifer, or it can be anyone in the society. She just wanted to throw light on the married life of people, married life of women especially, or the marriage constraints, or the ordeals women need to experience. And she is so successful drawing every attention to the following, the same matter through her poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. She contrasts between tiger and Aunt Jennifer. Exactly opposite. Guys, it's a very, very simple poem. I guess everyone enjoyed the lesson, but now this is the time for learning in deep. We have to discuss about the literary devices. So let's see what all literary devices has been used in this poem on Jennifer's Tiger. In the first stanza, the last word in first line and second line, they are actually rhyming. Screen and green. Just like that, third line and fourth line, they also end in rhyming words. Tree and certainty. So we can say that the first stanza is following a rhyming scheme which is A, B, B. In the stanza, the color of tigers has been compared to the topper stones. There you can find the use of metaphor. Just as the first stanza, second stanza also follow the same rhyme scheme, A, B, B. In the first line of the second stanza, the consonant sound F is repeated in the words finger and fluttering. As a consonant sound is repeated, we can call it as the use of alliteration. The same rhyme scheme A, B, B continues in the third stanza. And in the last line of the third stanza, the word prancing and proud, the consonant sound p is repeated. And as I told earlier, the repetition of a consonant sound can be called as alliteration. So, guys, that's all for on Jennifer Steiger. Read the poetry. If you have any doubts, queries, just comment below. Till I come back with another chapter, it's a bye from Vishnu Ram. Take care.